Hello viewers, my name's Mark Papendell and you're watching OCAR Storytellers.
So Mark, thanks for joining us. Can you introduce yourself and tell us how your passion for cars started, and also with this particular car that you've got today?
Sure. I've been into cars my whole life, since I was a kid. And my first car was an FB Holden. My passion with cars is driven from that, and I never had any money as a child, so I didn't go racing or nothing like that. And I didn't start till I was 38 years of age. So when I got to about 42, 43, I found this car was for sale at Malala and was racing by Mark Porter, who came third in the championship that year. And so I bought the car. This car is the 2000 series VT Commodore called the Silver Bullet from Russell Ingall, built by Larry Perkins.
Yep, beautiful car, I must say that right now. And then when did this particular car come into your life, and what year did you purchase it in?
Well, I actually bought it in 2004 at Malala, in August, Malala 2004, when Mark Porter had come third in the championship. Yeah.
That is amazing, that is. And also, at what moment did you realise this wasn't just any race car, but a genuine Perkins Engineering supercar?
Well, I knew it was a Perkins car, but I didn't know which car it was in specifics. So it was about 10 years later that I was at Queensland Raceway racing this particular car, and I put it on pole. That a friend of mine said to me, "Do you know the significance of that motor vehicle?" And I went, "Which motor vehicle are you talking about?" He said, "The Silver Bullet." And I went, "Don't know what you're talking about." And he said, "Well, your car's the Silver Bullet. That's chassis 036. And I went, "Yeah, I know Russell's car, yeah." And he said, then he highlighted things to me as in, that's the first car ever to have a Larry bar, it's the first car to have the dual main hoops, it's the first car to have the single nuts, it's the most controversial car in V8 Supercars because they went from ATCC to V8 Supercars." And yep, that enlightened me, yeah.
No,
I knew basically, virtually 10 years later, 9 years later, that I owned a piece of Australian history.
What a beautiful, that is amazing, that is. And also, what makes the Silver Bullet so significant in Australian touring car history?
Okay, well, Mr. Perkins himself was an engineer, as you know, and with this car, there was lots of controversy with this car because of the fact that when they put the Larry bar in it, everybody else didn't have it, and this car did have it.
Yep.
And it was going to not race, and then it did race, and it sort of played, I think, a bit in Russell's mind into that year. So he didn't really do that good in it, but que sera.
Exactly, 100%. Also, what do you know about its time in the 2000s with Russell Ingall?
Okay, I believe overall he came 9th, and he had the number 8 anyway all the time, as Perkins had number 11. I think he come 2nd at Queensland Raceway behind Scafie sometime during that year. He didn't really have a good repertoire with the car that year. I think basically because of the confusion over the car, and a lot of people were bagging him. Yep. Because it had all the little things that needed to be done to the car was done to the car, but it wasn't refined.
Correct, yeah. And also this car, like you said, came 8th in the championship?
9th.
Oh, 9th in the championship, did it? In the 2000s V8 Supercar championship, it did?
Yep, that's right, yep.
Amazing. Does this car still carry original race used components, or has it changed over time?
Everything's always maintained and serviced, but that's the genuine engine out of this car. The gearbox came with the car. It's still a HS6 gearbox, which is genuine Hollinger. Still the right bell housing, still the right, that's got a Perkins diff. I believe the Porter upgraded to monoblock brakes on the front of it. And apart from that, it's still got the Perkins front struts, all the, I think the main thing they really changed was the control panel next to the gear lever.
Okay, cool. How important is authenticity to you with a car like this?
Well, I guess overall, all we want to do is go fast. It's not about what's in the car, it's so long as you can go fast. As we all know, these cars originally come out with Altronic computers. But in 2000, 2001, I believe it was, they all changed to Motec. So regardless of what anybody had, you had to go to Motec injection, Motec computer. And in this instance, this was changed from the old slide injection from Perkins to Harrop injection.
Harrop injection, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. For people watching, what makes a V8 Supercar like this so different from a normal road car?
Oh, to drive this on a normal road car, you'd be like a milkshake because the suspension's so tough and durable. So, if for instance, if you went around Wakefield Park in this car with your spring ratings, which would be around about 600 in the front, 360 in the rear. When you go to Bathurst, the front ring spring rates are around 800, 850 to the rears would be around about 550. And that's, the tracks are smooth as each other, but because of the initial speeds that you're going at Bathurst to what you do at Wakefield Park, that's just one thing. And the aspects of changing the actual pressures in the spring, in the shock absorbers, also change because they've got four-way Penske's. So they have dampeners, up, high end, low end, all that sort of thing. So to drive this on the road, which I have done, it's quite, you can't drive it flat out. There's no way.
No.
No way at all.
No way. Can you describe the engine and what makes it special, especially for the 2000s V8 Supercars, and what motors do they use back in the day? Okay,
so these are Chev bow tie blocks 302s. So they're not a 5.7 litre, they're only 5 litre. They rev incredibly fast. They have short squirt pistons with long rods, 6-inch rods. They have a Crow crank. You're talking a crank's worth about $7,000 or $8,000. You're talking about a set of pistons that are worth $4,000. A set of rods that's worth $3,500. Cam, which is probably worth about, just the cam itself, about $1,200–1,500.
Whoa.
The roller lifters are $1,200. The push rods are probably worth about $600. It's over the top. The Jezzel rocker gear alone's worth $2,500–3 grand. The Jezzel gear to drive the cam's worth about $1,000. You start piecing this motor together, the last one that I built from scratch was $57,000.
Whoa, that is a lot of money, especially.
And this is 20 years ago.
20 years ago, 57 grand for a motor.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, wow, amazing.
Yeah. That's why they used to sell them for like $120,000, $130,000.
Oh, mate, amazing. What's something about the car most people wouldn't know just by looking at it?
Oh, they wouldn't understand the suspension or the chassis.
Yep.
That's huge, absolutely huge in these cars. And these old cars are obviously not as good as the new cars, but they're not that much faster.
No.
Like you're talking Bathurst 06, the lap of the gods. A 206 was a 204. I can't even remember now. It's 20 years ago. It is 20 years this year.
Yep.
And now they're doing 203s.
Yep.
There's not a lot in it.
There's not a lot.
Not a lot. And the cars are supposed to be more sophisticated.
Yes, they're supposed to be, yes. You're even a racing car driver yourself, Mark. What events have you taken this car to, and how does it drive on the track?
Okay, well, I did the development series in 05 and 06. So I've done most of the tracks around Australia. Haven't done Darwin, haven't done Western Australia, but look, if you're not pedal to the metal, you get left behind. I wasn't a supercar driver. I was a Commodore Cup driver that jumped into a supercar, and I had an absolute ball. For 2 years, I had a ball, you know, and I did Bathurst in a supercar. I think my fastest time then was a 2:14, which for me was really good. And I was always middle of the field. I was never a front runner. I was always middle of the field, so I was happy with that, and self-funded.
Yep.
These cars cost a lot of money to run. People don't realise that, you know, top teams back then, the driver was costing them about $80,000 a round.
80 grand a round?
A round.
Back then in the 2000s?
Back then, yes. I was doing it for around about 35,000 a round.
Whew.
So, you know, I'm in no comparison to them.
Yep.
But I was out there having fun.
That's the main thing. You've got to have fun when you're driving, 100%.
Yeah.
Can you describe the sound and vibration from inside the cockpit? And how is it?
Smooth.
Smooth.
Smooth as silk. And you can only hear the gearbox.
That's
You don't hear the motor, you just hear the gearbox sing. You know, the motor is quiet compared to the gearbox. So all you hear is the gearbox singing its ass off.
Yep, 100%. What goes into maintaining a real V8 supercar?
A lot of work.
I
I worked on this car for those 2 years. Was basically come home from work. I was a plumber, and I'd be in the shed every night, 4 to 6 hours in between races.
Wow.
And I would pull everything apart, go through it, and put it all back together. Obviously not the motor, just service the motor like generally. But yeah, just for me it was fun. You know, it was like I learned so much from V8 Supercars. You know, as in driving. You know, it's just a totally different aspect to driving a normal street car.
Yep.
You really got to have your shit together.
Or otherwise something's going to go wrong.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Do you preserve it or still like to use it sometimes?
I get it out and thrash it. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's what it's for. You can see by the marks on it. I redone the car back in 2016. It was spotless, but I went out to a few events and had fun. And that's what you got to do.
Oh, 100%.
Use it or lose it.
Yep.
You know, you can't leave this thing sitting here. You have to start it up. You have to circulate the wheels, the gearbox, the gear oil. So I put it on the hoist and run it up on the hoist and go through the gears.
Go through the gears, yep. 100%.
Yep.
What does this car mean to you personally?
My superannuation. All part of it. I've owned it for 22 years. I don't really care if it sells. It's not important. But it would be nice one day if it sells, but it's not important.
100%, yeah, definitely.
I love looking at it.
It's about the sentimentality and also the love and the passion rather than the money.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need the money, it's not important.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Was owning a car like this always the dream?
No, it just happened.
Just happened, eh?
Just happened, yeah.
Oh my God, wow. Do you ever just sit and look at it and think, wow, what an amazing car?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Always do, eh?
Yeah. I love it. I know it's indestructible.
I bet it is, 100%. What do people say when they find out that this is the real deal, and what do people say when they see it as well?
Most of them are pretty amazed. Most people think that it's a mock-up, but we know it's the genuine car. I've got the genuine logbooks, all that sort of stuff. But most people, when they look at it and go, it's the real deal, they go, wow, you know, that's an amazing bit of gear.
Yeah, I bet they do, yeah, because you don't see something like this every day, 100%.
Oh no. No, it's been the talk of the town, I can tell you. I've been up in Bundy now for 9 months, and I've been to a few shows, and I've got a lot of feedback, which is really good.
Yeah, I remember seeing this car at the Bundaberg Car, Truck and Machinery show, and I said to myself, this thing is just, what an amazing car this is, and the fact that, you know, Russell Ingall drove this car, you know, and who else drove this car again?
Oh, there's quite a few. Stephen Richards drove it.
Stephen Richards, yeah.
Yeah. Craig Baird, Mark Porter. Off the top of my head, I can't remember them all, but there's quite a few. Yeah, there's probably about 7 drivers drove this car.
7, wow.
Yeah.
And I also see that Russell Ingall signed the dash as well, he did.
Yeah, well, back in 2019, we were invited back to Bathurst by Castrol and the Nissan guys, because they painted, there was a competition in the best paint job of all the Holden Perkins cars.
Yep.
They picked this paint job and they painted their Nissans very similar to this car. And so what they did, they had an unveiling at the top of the mountain on the Thursday, and then they asked me to bring the car to Bathurst, so I did.
And what was the feedback with that?
Huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah, yeah.
I bet it was, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy sharing the car with the public?
Absolutely.
Priceless feeling, I bet, isn't it?
That's a good feeling. Yeah.
It is, definitely.
They love it, especially when you start it up for them.
I bet it sounds pretty mean, eh?
Yeah.
If you could take this car back to any moment of the 2000s, where would it be?
In my shed.
I bet it would be.
Yeah.
Not on the track, not at Bathurst or anything?
Yeah, Bathurst was the best. I had the most enjoyment at Bathurst. I had a lot of fun driving this car there. It sort of brings back memories where I actually got in trouble from Avesco because I did 301 kilometres an hour down Conrod.
Oh my God, really?
Now, I did 301 and you're supposed to only be able to do 298 kilometres an hour. So they give me 3 infringements because I did it 3 times. Yeah,
you're lucky.
Well, yeah, it's something to look back at, but you know, it's one of those funny things you think, wow, like, how ridiculous is it?
No, I bet.
I got pinged for doing 301 kilometres an hour. They put a speed limit at Bathurst of 315 kilometres an hour. That car behind us will do 340 down Conrod.
Wow.
So I can't take it there because I'll end up having to leave.
Exactly, yep.
That's why I'm going to take it to Pikes Peak.
So you'll take the car that's behind you, you're going to take that to Pikes Peak, eh?
Probably in 2028.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
What's one thing you want people to remember about this car and its legacy?
They don't build them like this anymore.
No.
These are the genuine Holden V8 Supercar. They're not a 2-door. Sorry, I'm biased. But to me, V8 Supercars was a 4-door sedan.
Correct.
Now they're not.
They're all 2 doors. Camaros, the Chevy
Nissan.
Camaros, they got the Toyota Supras,
Yep.
and also they
Ford.
got the Ford Mustang.
Yep.
They do with the S650 model, and
Yep.
and they're 2 nationalities now, American and Japanese. They are. It's
Yep.
not Aussie made like what they used to.
Well, I thought V8 Supercars was Aussie, but it
Yep.
ain't no more.
It's not no more, 100%.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
So
And-
if we're allowed to race these again like that, I think a lot more people in Australia would like that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And finally, last question, what's next for you and the Silver Bullet?
Well, a garage fest at Maryborough next weekend.
Garage Fest?
Yep.
Yeah, everyone that's watching this video, on the 20th and the 21st of June, which is next weekend, Garage Fest is going to be on. Myself and also Mark with the Silver Bullet is going to be there at Garage Fest. So if you're coming Queensland, anywhere in Queensland, make sure you be at the Maryborough Showgrounds for Garage Fest, because this is something that you do not want to miss. The Silver Bullet with Mark and myself going to be there. That's for sure. I'd like to thank Mark for letting me do the interview with him with this beautiful thing right here, the Silver Bullet V8 Supercar. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to Mark for letting us do this interview. And hey, if you want to see more OCAR Storytellers here on this channel, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell as well, and make sure to follow all of my social medias as well, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Links will be down in the description below. And also there's a whole article listed on Oswheels Australia, so I'm leaving a link for that as well, so you can see the full history of this vehicle. And if you got a story as well that you want to share on Oliver's Cars and Reviews as OCAR Storytellers, send me a message via email or send me a DM either Facebook or Instagram. Thank you so much. But anyways, this is Oliver's Cars and Reviews, and I'll see you all in that next video. Cheers everybody, OCAR signing out.